Wilcox, if a person lies on Form 4473 and is a user of unlawful drugs, you can get between 5 to 10 years for that. Is that correct? Is that my understanding?
No, I believe Congress changed the sentence last Congress.
What is that sentence now?
Up to 15.
Up to 15 years. Why hasn't Hunter Biden been prosecuted for the crime that he committed?
I'm not aware of the facts of that case and can't comment on it.
Okay. Who do we talk to see why this case is not being prosecuted? I mean, he said very clearly in his book that he used drugs. He had at least a gun.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
State your point of order.
Totally irrelevant and not germane to this proceeding.
Sir, he's got his 5 minutes. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, so I understand why you do not want Mr. Wilcox to answer that question. It's very clear why you don't want, because there's a dual system of justice in America. That's what's going on right now, and everybody's talking about it across America. There's two standards of justice that are going on.
Mr. Chipman, you testified to Senator Lee that it's a serious felony to lie on a background check application. I agree. The ATF form 4473 asks, are you an unlawful user of or addicted to any drug or uncontrolled substance? If an applicant checks yes, they cannot purchase a firearm. On March 25th, Politico reported that Hunter Biden, President Biden's son, applied for a handgun that was later thrown in the trash and had to be recovered by Secret Service agents in 2018. Politico reported that Hunter Biden completed this background check and answered no to the question of whether he was an unlawful user of or addicted to any drug. Hunter Biden has since published a book and gone on a nationwide book tour, conducting numerous interviews, stating that he was, in fact, very much addicted to drugs at the same time that he purchased this firearm. This would mean that by his own admission, Hunter Biden lied on that form and, by your earlier testimony, committed a serious felony. Should Hunter Biden be prosecuted for breaking this law?
Senator, thank you for your question. If I'm confirmed as ATF director, it will be my responsibility to enforce all federal laws without political favor. I do not know any factors in this particular case, but I am familiar with the press account of it.
Well, my understanding is the statute of limitation is only 5 years, and that this happened in 2018. Mr. Biden is obligated to keep a record of that form for up to 5 years himself. So this should be a fairly easy case to investigate. Can I get your commitment that if you are confirmed, you will in fact look into this matter and refer it for prosecution if you find that Hunter Biden violated the law?
Senator, what I will assure you is that if ATF director, I will ensure that all violations of law are investigated and referred. I'm not sure that it has not been investigated.
Well, I hope it has, and if the facts are as clear-cut as they appear to be, based on Mr. Biden's own admission, I would expect to see criminal charges forthcoming. But I would say that when a case is as high profile as this, if there is not an answer for the American people and public, it severely undermines the confidence in our gun laws, as well as the ATF and the Department of Justice, if there are not criminal consequences.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. Big fan of firearms on this channel, obviously, and also a big fan of putting people in prison who abuse firearms and who use them irresponsibly and make all the rest of us responsible gun owners look bad. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why we love these questions from both sides of Congress. Tom Cotton and Tom Tiffany from Wisconsin, stand up strong, asking about Hunter Biden going to jail. Tom Tiffany saying, 15 years in prison, that's what happens when you lie on a federal NICS form, and that's exactly what Hunter Biden did. Check this out, according to right-wing conspiracy theory site Politico. Secret Service inserted itself into the case Hunter Biden's gun. Check out just this intro here on this article. This is wild stuff, man. This would get anyone else impeached. 2018, President Joe Biden's son Hunter and his daughter-in-law Haley, who were banging, by the way, after Hunter Biden's brother died. This is his wife, the widow of his brother. So creepy. She also got a bunch of money from communist China, but that's a different story. Anyway, they were involved in a bizarre incident in which Haley took Hunter's gun and threw it in a trash can behind a grocery store and returned later to find it gone. Delaware police began investigating, concerned that the trash can was across from a high school. The missing gun could be used in a crime, according to law enforcement officials. But a curious thing happened at that time. Secret Service agents approached the owner of the store. The Hunter Biden bought the gun and asked for all the paperwork involving the sale, according to two people with whom has firsthand knowledge of the episode. What? The gun store owner refused to supply the paperwork, suspecting that the Secret Service officers wanted to hide Hunter's gun ownership. Why would they wish to do that? The owner, Ron Paul Mary, later turned over paperwork to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Explosive, which oversees federal gun laws. The Secret Service says that it has no record of its agents investigating the incident of Joe Biden, and it was not under protection at the time, so why the hell would the Secret Service be there? Doesn't make any sense. Hunter Biden should be charged for lying on his gun application, according to the New York Post. What feds call cases in which people who are disqualified from owning guns lie and try. This is what lie and try is. If you are disqualified from owning a gun, if you are a felon, if you are a drug abuser, have you ever bought or purchased a firearm? That's what happens. They ask you all these invasive questions, and if you are one of those things, you are not allowed to purchase a firearm. Consequently, you're hearing Hunter Biden apologists argue that the president's problem son should not be singled out for prosecution over apparently concealing his history of illegal drug use when he bought a handgun in 2018. It's a very misleading argument. Hunter, after all, did not lie and try. He got the gun. If he withheld the drug abuse problem that he was required to disclose, that isn't lying and trying. That's lying and succeeding. The purpose of the law is to prevent lethal weapons from falling into the hands of crackheads like Hunter Biden, ladies and gentlemen. So that is exactly why Hunter Biden should be going to prison, among many, many, many other things. Tom Tiffany asking that, Tom Tiffany retweeting us, saying America's two-tiered system of justice must be fixed. Why hasn't Hunter Biden been arrested?
This is the man Joe Biden just nominated to lead ATF. But it gets worse than that. In a Reddit post, David Chipman suggested that people who fail background checks should be arrested on the spot. Quote, while at ATF, I conducted studies involving people who failed background checks to determine how many later committed crimes with a gun. Many did. This is a perfect opportunity to arrest people before committing crimes rather than responding after the fact. Arrest people before they commit crimes. That is a brand new concept in American law, though the Chinese are highly familiar with it. But the suggestion does raise a point of pressing interest to the Biden family. Joe Biden just appointed a guy who thinks people who lie on federal firearms background checks should go to prison. Oh, well, do you know any? Hunter Biden purchased a handgun illegally. He lied on a federal background check. That's not speculation. He did. We've seen the form. So the question is, will David Chipman arrest the president's son? And if he doesn't arrest the president's son, the question is, how exactly are you obligated to follow these rules? That's a serious question. Can you live in a country where the rules don't apply to the president's son, but you could go to jail for violating them? How can you participate in a system like that? Again,
It sounds like Saddam Hussein's Iraq, right? Uday and Qusay are able to go and plow over civilians at a wedding, and nobody is able to bat an eye or say anything about it because they'll be jailed. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody who belongs in jail along with his son.
First, this executive order helps keep firearms out of dangerous hands.
You mean like your son Hunter's hands? Again, Hunter Biden was a crackhead. He is on camera smoking so many mountains of crack that you could probably rebuild the Himalayas out of the amount of crack cocaine mountains that Hunter Biden has smoked. And Joe Biden is saying that that is the number one problem in America, is dangerous people obtaining firearms. Got it. Put your kid in jail.
A piece of crack cocaine, no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand.
Okay.
1/4 of $1. We passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail.
5 years in jail. Well, Hunter Biden's walking free. So, yes, you are run by a criminal cartel, that criminal cartel mafia family. They treat each other very differently. They all get rich, and your kids go to prison. Especially young black men who were disproportionately affected by the crack epidemic. Joe Biden put them all in jail, but his son, Nah, baby. He gets to hold his firearm. He gets to lie to the federal government. He gets to have Secret Service protection for some odd reason. Curious that. I would really like to get to the bottom of that. Why the Secret Service was hanging around Biden's. It's like they knew something. It's like they knew a little something about Joe Biden's future that none of the rest of us did. That's an interesting question for another time. But the question we have presently is, why isn't Hunter Biden in jail? We want to put Hunter Biden in jail. We believe a lot of people belong in jail, ladies and gentlemen. And then we're working to create a better America so that that happens. Fighting for a better America with you, your boy Benny. See ya. Thank you for watching. Our channel is here to meme the libs until they cry and then to meme them crying. They're tears. They taste just like sweet, delicious ice cream. Salty, too. We ridicule the establishment and the libs because of you. Your support keeps us going. So if you like what you saw, please punch the subscribe button, click like, and ring the little bell so that you know when we're live. Don't you want to know when we're live? And make sure that you subscribe to our email list just in case the plug gets pulled, as tends to happen. If you want to see more of our videos, click here or here. My name is Benny Johnson. Stay free, Base Patriots.